Hello, welcome back to my channel. Short video from me today. It's my podcast preview. If we haven't met before, my name is Joanne. This is my channel, Joanne Wealth, and I am the host of the podcast Women's Wealth with Joanne. You can listen on all streaming platforms. All you need to do is head there, type in Women's Wealth, and you will find me. And I will also put my link in the comments. So every single week, or every other week, should I say, I am solo on my podcast. So you will find me on here with my podcast preview. Just sharing a little snippet of what you can expect in the podcast this week. This week is part 2 of my witch wound. So 2 weeks ago, I chatted about what was the witch wound, where does it come from, and how it's still prevalent today. And I go into a little bit more detail in this week's part 2, talking about gender stereotypes, where they stem from, and how this sort of still integrates that witch wound within us. So we haven't quite, we live in a different society now. And yes, women do live very differently and we have more rights. We don't get burned at the stake if we fulfill the witch, stereotype of not married, no children, has a house, doesn't need a man, has her own money. Of course, we're not doing that now. However, we still do have a judgment and a comparison. And it's not just women that do that. It's men do it to women, women do it to men. And we're still living within this hangover of those times, of those witch wounds, which, not pun intended, within the podcast, I ask us, and myself included, to reflect on. So what I wanted to share just in the podcast preview was some of the things I'm working on myself to grow from my witch wound. I don't want to use the word heal because I feel like healing is thrown around a lot lately, especially on social media, and everyone's healing. We've all got things to heal. I like to think that I'm growing. I see myself as a plant. I need water, I need care, I need sunshine. And yeah, I need to grow. We're all always growing. And not necessarily something that needs healing, but something that I need to reflect on and grow from. And for me, the witch wound sort of sticks around in, I would say, comparison and judgment, not in a negative way, more of myself. So looking at other women, comparing myself, judging myself as not being good enough, and then keeping myself small, which is very common in women with a witch wound, that we don't speak out, we keep ourselves small. We still have that fear of persecution if we do speak out loud, if we do something against the grain, if we do disagree with what somebody says, if we do ask questions. And this is my own personal growth. I am learning to speak out more. I restarted my YouTube channel in 2024 to share my voice more. I want to share my voice. I want to help other people, and not allowing myself to see others and think, gosh, look at theirs is better than mine. They've got thousands of subscribers. I have hundreds of subscribers, So allowing myself to grow, allowing myself to heal, because I will never move forward and I will never move on from that or leave that ancestral trauma behind if I don't work on that and allow myself to grow. So that is where I'm at the moment, and I do go into a lot more detail in the podcast, so please feel free, have a listen. If you have any questions, let me know. My next podcast, I have an amazing guest. This is one for the mums and dads, if there's any dads wanting to listen. And yeah, so keep your eyes open for that. The full guest episode will be available on my YouTube channel. And of course, you can listen to my podcast on the streaming platforms for podcasts. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in to my preview. I hope to see you, or hope you did listen to me on the podcast, and I will see you next week.